Welcome to Everyday Gears. My name is Levi, and today we are looking at a very unique and special backpack brand specifically for camera gear and travel, and you might not have heard of them. Today we're looking at the Nya-Evo Fjord 36. First off, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, put them down below, and I'm happy to do any comparisons or help you guys as much as I'm able to. But as this channel is just starting, please subscribe and share the video if you find it helpful. But with that said, just want to jump in. This camera bag caught my attention. I believe it was last year when they did a Kickstarter for their version 2 of their backpacks. Nya-Evo is a Nordic-based backpack company, started in 2017, so still rather young. I was actually put onto it by Adam Nevins from City Trekker. Go check out his channel. I'll put a link below. And he actually uses, I think it's currently still does, the Fjord36, which is the much larger version of this bag, of course, and that is his main long travel bag. Now he brings camera gear with him, but he actually said he doesn't always use it with the camera unit, and actually it's just a great comfortable travel bag. Well, when they launched version 2, one of the biggest things that I appreciated was the removal or optional removal of their waist belt. Their first version had the waist belt permanently attached, which made it really more of a dedicated hiking bag. And that's what this is really for. This is an outdoor hiking, very comfortable bag where you can carry a fairly heavy load and have all your gear with you and just go out for the day. And they did a lot of things right. There's a lot of great things I enjoy. And honestly, every time I used it, a lot of the details really speak to me as far as how you use it and what the thought they put into it. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are quite a few annoyances that are personal to me. Doesn't mean they're bad, and I do appreciate that. I think these are things that the company has given it thought, and that's just the design direction they've chosen. But for me, fairly annoying, not deal breakers, and when you hear them, you might say, hey, who cares? The rest of the bag is great, and this may be something that's perfect for you. So with that all said, let's jump right into it. So we're going to start with right up top, right in front, and that's with this has 2 straps right in front that you're able to attach really whatever you want. The only negative of this, and again, this is maybe an annoyance for you, but could be really nothing, is these are permanent. You can't take these off. So where they are incredibly sturdy, they're very functional, it is something that I do wish that if you did want a cleaner look, you could take these straps off. I've used them a couple times where it is easy to put pretty much tripods, light stands, anything that's not terribly heavy, it's going to work perfectly well. Going on, this is one I really enjoy, the quick access pocket, which if you haven't had a backpack with one, once you start getting used to a quick access pocket, it's tough to use a bag that does not have one. This I love because, one, it is pretty well hidden. I put in stuff in here and forgot where it was because I couldn't find the pocket. I would just go right into the front organizational panel. But quick access pockets right here, and a little trick up its sleeve. This is something that comes standard. Is it actually has a pull-out netting that allows you to attach this to the top so you can put a helmet or shoes, your jacket, whatever it is. It allows there to be additional storage outside of the bag on top of already having the straps in the front. Very clever. Love that that's there. And something I want to talk about as well is these little zip pulls. Fantastic, easy to grab, love the color accents. Not to mention, obviously I did get black, but Nya-Evo does sell this in a variety of color options that I think look amazing, as well as this material. All their material that they're using going forward, I think they did start this with their Gen 2, is Ecoline. or Econoline. I can't really pronounce the name, forgive me, but it is all recycled. It is something that is environmentally friendly, as well as I believe the company does donate 2% of all their profits towards Nepal and just doing good things. I mean, it's definitely a company that's easy to support, that you can really enjoy working with. The final thing on the front is it does have a pass-through right here. It goes side to side, and I haven't found what it's for. Didn't see what it is on the website. What I keep in here, and let me take it out here, is it does come with a rain flap or rain cover, so I can cover this entire thing. That being said, it actually has AquaGuard zips all the way around. The material is waterproof. I don't know if you need that, but if it's super rainy outside, it's good to have. And obviously we are talking about camera gear. The fact that they make that available where you can use it and have full protection, especially in foul weather, is awesome. So we talked about the front, we talked about the quick access. Now we're going to talk about the organizational panel. That's the first zip right here. We'll open that. It is a half zip, just like the main compartment. Now, something that Nya-Evo did that I haven't seen on other bags is they actually put their laptop compartment in the front, or actually kind of in the middle of the bag here. And usually you want something as heavy as a laptop on the back, so that way it's closer to your body, it's less heavy. But as a camera backpack, you have most of your camera gear back there that's already heavy. I found putting my laptop in here didn't mess up the balance in any way. It was perfectly comfortable, and it actually works so well. I'm gonna say that that's where Shimoda got their idea for their Urban Explorer. They now have a laptop compartment in the front and the back, so they improved upon this idea. The next thing you're going to notice is this white interior. It's high contrast, easy to see. It's actually been fantastic using. This has space that goes all the way down to the bottom of the bag. You have another zip here you can open that goes all the way down, as well as you have a couple compartments right here. So fairly easily organized, easy to see where you put things, very enjoyable to use. This is something, no complaints. When I got it, it was easy to set up. And if this is where you're working out of, where you're using this as maybe an everyday bag and not your camera, or you don't need your camera for that instance, you can open that zipper up, grab your charger, grab your laptop, grab your headphones, everything's right there, ready to go. Now, we haven't even gotten to the main compartment, which is right here. Now, this is also a half zip. Now, you're going to find that this compartment is actually connected with the camera space below. So I have the small camera cube in here, so I have the most space available. And you're going to notice I can fit, all the way, almost half my arm right there. And again, you have that same kind of white, light gray interior. Has a zipper right in the front here for organizational purposes. And what's cool is this whole panel can actually be unzipped and rolled out of the way. So if you did want to have this as just a travel bag, where you just have an open space, or maybe you want to grab your camera gear from the bottom, you can do that. So this ends up being really versatile and just a fun bag to use, where you have plenty of space here where you can put another camera in there. You can put a cap too. You can be creative with what you use. And I'm going to show a comparison on this shortly. But I love that they have your organization in the front, quick access, ton of storage here on top. And we haven't gotten even to the main point of this backpack, which is a camera bag. As we move to the back, I did want to show you this does have 2 water bottle pockets. Nice stretchy formula, as well as it has the built-in, let me plug it in, buckles here, so you can actually tighten down your tripod or wherever you're using. Now, I would actually keep these unbuckled and they just dangle there. This is my first small annoyance, and the reason I would keep it unbuckled is because it interferes with this zipper path. Now, if I have a tripod there, obviously it makes sense, but I would have loved for that connection to be maybe back here so it doesn't interfere with the zippers. As it is now, if you have these connected as they're supposed to be, what happens is you end up having to unbuckle these straps pretty much every time you open the bag because they're so high. So I would like to see these maybe a little bit lower as well as pushed back into the bag. Now as we move back to the back, here is my kind of second annoyance. This has awesome load lifters. You're going to notice that I have them kind of undone here so the straps sit flat. But when you put it on your back and you want that support, you go ahead and tighten these up. First off, I'm going to say they work very well. It does take the load off your back. They're incredibly effective load lifters. Great hardware. They feel fantastic as far as comfort. But all of a sudden now your bag is like this. You have a constant giant arch sticking out where it just takes up a lot of real estate. They don't really come back down. So they end up being ones where I have to constantly loosen them so I can have the backpack looking a little bit more normal. And then I constantly tighten them. Not a huge deal. If you're putting this in and out of your car and this is more of an EDC, that can definitely be a hassle. But if you're actually hiking, traveling about, you put it down, honestly, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to get to that second part here in a moment. But the reason why, if you're using this and you're out in the field and you have this higher up, that does make accessing the camera section much easier. So if I'm putting this down because I don't want these sticking up, I'm also causing an issue for myself. So you're constantly kind of battling what you want the bag to do. Now, it does have a pass through here where you can put the waistband for your hip belt for support, and it actually is a very comfortable waist belt, very supportive, does take the load off, and this is definitely something you can load up really heavy and it's still going to be comfortable. But before we get to the camera section, the third annoyance I want to talk about is this handle. This handle is probably, and maybe I shouldn't say probably, this is absolutely the thinnest, useless handle I have on any bag I own, and I own way too many bags. The fact that it's on the back of the bag, which is not normal, you want to grab here and you're always looking for it right here. The fact that it has no cushion, the fact that it's so thin, and the fact that this is the tactile part that you're always touching when you're grabbing your bag. I cannot say how much this needs to be upgraded, fixed, moved, you name it. They can't do any worse. So I'll say that. Now, that being said, the materials are nice. The hardware is nice. The zip pulls I absolutely love. This really just irks me, and I wish they can improve that. And it's almost like this bag was done so well. The engineers did such great things with this, and then they kind of forgot about that. I'll leave it at that. Now let's unzip the camera, and this is going to be my final annoyance. You're going to notice the camera section is back here. And to get to it, you really have to undo the zips, and you have to open it coming down. And what I don't like about this is the Nomadic seems to get out of the way. The Wandered, the straps are built into the strap. Shimoda, it opens up to the side. This element and how it works, I feel like these straps are always in the way. Like I open it up, I'm trying to move these out of the way. I'm getting to it, and it fights you. So this is one that I just really did not appreciate the usability of getting to my camera gear. I ended up using this bag a lot where I had my camera gear with me, but I would access everything else but my camera, or I would just keep my camera out because it was just annoying to get in and out of. All that said, the actual RCI, or their remote camera input, I forgot what they stand for. RCI, this is the small version. They do have their own lids, which is really cool. You can zip this off. You can take this out and use as its own kit, which is really nice if you wanted to take this camera cube out. And then even this small one, you have plenty of protection from the cube and from the bag, and it just leaves you really feeling secure about all your gear. It is safe, it is ready to go. So I do speak highly of that. One missed opportunity as well, let me flip this around, is there is no tablet or laptop sleeve on the back, just two zippers here. I think that's a miss because it's really easy to put there. Now, I will say maybe that adds to the comfort because a laptop does give you something stiff that's on the back, whereas this actually conforms to your back really nicely, and again, is absolutely a very comfortable bag. So, with that all said, there's a lot to like. There's a lot that is kind of annoying, and it definitely is a protective camera bag for your gear. It definitely is something that is well made, but there are a lot of other camera manufacturers, camera bag makers out there that are doing things as well and then better in certain areas. Now, those annoyances I talked about for this bag are annoyances. I don't know if they're deal breakers per se, and you may hear them and be like, hey, it doesn't bother me. I think a lot of the users who have this bag open it up and they're perfectly fine with that. The handle, if you have, I was going to say, if you have actually thick gloves, there's very little space here. So the way this picks up and grabs, I would say the Fjord60 is something, just based on pictures and people who've had it, they put a little bit more thought into, and I think that one, it might be the one I want to get next. That actually does have an expandable top, so it does shrink down and get bigger. But one other thing I would like to talk about is just the sizing. This is a 36 liter. I want to pick up. This is the Shimoda Explorer 35. Now, the Shimoda might be 35 liters, but in hand, it is a taller bag, it is a wider bag, and it just feels way larger. And it just has a lot less annoyances to it. I think they actually do put more space on the Shimoda for the camera gear, whereas you have more space on the Fjord36 to use this as just a regular bag, or it's more adaptable with that front area. It's something that I think can be a camera bag or just a quality hiking bag. They do have water pass through for here, so if you're just using this as a hiking bag and not even taking camera gear, I think this is still excellent, just very durable, incredibly water resistant. Obviously, I don't want to say waterproof, and very comfortable. Comfort levels between the two are fairly similar. I think I may like the Shimoda a little bit more, but the Shimoda with its distinctive straps is something that's a little bit more loud if you're wearing it in urban environments because of how the straps look, and I'll show you that if you haven't seen Shimoda's. They have this super hiking bulky strap that is functional and I actually love using, versus just a really clean look on these. So the Shimoda I've used as more my professional bag when I go to gigs. The Explorer 35, I'm able to put the larger camera units in there, and it's just super comfortable. But it is something that you do get some looks like, what kind of bag is that? Are you going hiking? I've used this more for just personal use, family outings, and it's been super comfortable. I definitely do recommend it to use for a comfortable bag for hiking, if you have a lot of camera gear, something to keep your gear protective, and I don't want to say most importantly, but doesn't look like a camera bag. This isn't a low pro or Manfrotto or one of these bags where it's like, oh yeah, that guy has camera gear. This looks like you're going outdoor and it's just a good looking bag. Love the overall design, and there's some annoyances to it, but there's a lot of redeeming qualities. So hopefully that helps you in maybe what you're looking for. And if you have any questions, I'll try to compare it to other bags if I'm able to. But this is Levi with Everyday Gears. Really appreciate you guys, and I'll come at you later.